Imagine this. It's the year 2028. You step into a sparkling car dealership, ready to make a purchase. Gleaming new vehicles catch your eye. But something's off. There's no Honda Accord, no Toyota Camry, no Volkswagen Jetta. The usual suspects of the automotive world are nowhere to be seen. Instead, you see rows of Fords, Chevys, and Teslas. The showroom landscape has undergone a radical transformation. Welcome to the new era of the American car market. 100% made in the USA. It's a bold new world for car buyers. Remember when Trump tweeted about reviving American manufacturing? It seemed like just another tweet storm. But he wasn't just talking. His words were more than mere rhetoric. In 2025, he signed an executive order. It was a game changer for the industry. The order mandated that every car sold in America had to be built on American soil. No exceptions. The aim? To rejuvenate the American auto industry, to bring back jobs, to inject new life into American manufacturing, to reduce America's dependence on global supply chains, to ensure stability and self-reliance. It was a daring move. Some called it brilliant. Others? Not so much. Opinions were split. Strap in, folks, because we're about to explore the wild ride of Trump's all-American car mandate. It's a journey through a transformed industry, with twists and turns at every corner. The executive order was quintessential Trump grand, audacious, and game-changing. It reverberated through the auto industry, both domestically and internationally. Supporters rejoiced. They waved American flags and spoke of reviving well-paying manufacturing jobs. They contended that dependence on foreign car makers weakened America. Trump, in his characteristic manner, proclaimed this was about prioritizing America. He envisioned a new era of prosperity, with bustling factories and jubilant workers. He depicted a stronger, more self-reliant America, free from the influence of foreign companies. However, not everyone was convinced. Critics labeled it a reckless decision. They cautioned about unforeseen repercussions, higher costs for consumers, trade conflicts with key allies, and potential harm to the very industry Trump aimed to protect. The Made in America car policy aimed to rejuvenate the American auto industry, which had faced significant challenges for years, and to reclaim manufacturing jobs that had been outsourced to other countries. Advocates highlighted Detroit, a city whose industrial core had been hollowed out over the decades, as a prime example of potential success. They argued that mandating car production in the US would bring back jobs, reopen factories, and rejuvenate communities. Economists aligned with the Trump administration forecasted substantial job growth, with thousands of new positions emerging. They anticipated a ripple effect, where the revival of the auto industry would bolster other sectors, from steel to electronics. More jobs would lead to increased spending, strengthening the economy for everyone, from small businesses to large corporations. This vision resonated with many Americans who felt marginalized by globalization and the evolving global economy. The message was clear. Purchasing American cars was not only patriotic, but also an investment in the nation's future and a step towards economic self-reliance. It was about reviving the golden era of American manufacturing and securing a prosperous future for American workers, ensuring long-term prosperity. Here's the reality. Manufacturing cars in America is costly. Labor expenses are higher, regulations are more stringent, and suddenly, those Made in America stickers on gleaming new cars came with a significant price increase. Remember that $20,000 Chevy? Now it's $25,000. That German sedan you were considering? Tack on an extra $10,000. Critics claimed this policy was essentially a hidden tax on consumers. They cautioned that everyday Americans, already grappling with stagnant wages, would be priced out of the new car market. And what about those global supply chains Trump aimed to dismantle? It turned out they were more interconnected than anyone had anticipated. Disrupting them led to shortages and delays. Suddenly, purchasing a new car, once a routine transaction, became a luxury. Section 5. Foreign automakers. From Tokyo to Wolfsburg, troubled waters. The Made in America mandate sent ripples through the boardrooms of Toyota, Honda, BMW, and Volkswagen. These international powerhouses had thrived on selling vehicles to American buyers. Now, they faced a critical decision: invest massively in U.S. factories, or exit the profitable American market. Companies like Toyota and BMW chose to invest billions into expanding their U.S. operations. Meanwhile, Volkswagen hesitated, cautious of the political landscape and the sustainability of such a protectionist stance. The policy ignited a wave of diplomatic friction. The European Union threatened counter-tariffs. Japan labeled the policy as unjust and biased. The global auto industry, once a symbol of international collaboration, was now a battlefield. Chapter 6. The Great Debate. Jobs versus prices. America first versus the world. This debate has been central to American economic policy for many years. The Made in America car policy sparked intense discussions, igniting conversations in homes, boardrooms, and political circles. Supporters of the policy highlighted its potential to create jobs and promote American self-sufficiency. They viewed it as a means to reclaim manufacturing jobs lost to foreign competition. They believed that enduring higher prices in the short term was worth the long-term benefits of a stronger domestic auto industry. This view was based on the idea that a healthy manufacturing sector is crucial for national security and economic stability. Critics, however, warned of potential economic repercussions. They argued that protectionist policies could have unintended negative effects. They pointed to the risk of trade wars, which could disrupt global supply chains and damage the international economy. They also highlighted the burden on consumers facing higher car prices, which could reduce overall consumer spending and slow economic growth. Additionally, they warned that insulating American companies from global competition could stifle innovation in a globalized industry. They believed that competition drives progress. Critics argued that the policy was an oversimplified solution to a complex issue, failing to consider the intricacies of modern economic interdependence. They emphasized that the global economy relies on parts and labor from multiple countries to produce a single product. The debate continued, dividing economists, politicians, and the American public. Each side presented strong arguments, making consensus difficult. It was a classic conflict between protectionism and free trade, a recurring theme in economic policy history, between national interests and global cooperation. The outcome of this debate would shape the future of the American auto industry and its role in the global economy. Chapter 7. Ford and General Motors. Riding the wave or feeling the strain. So, how did the American car companies fare? Were they ecstatic? Well, it's a bit more complex. On the surface, Ford and General Motors seemed to be the big winners. They had new factories to fill and a captive domestic market. Sales initially surged as patriotic Americans embraced the Buy American mantra, but the reality was more nuanced. The sudden spike in demand strained their supply chains. They struggled to find enough skilled workers to staff their expanded factories, and the higher cost of American-made parts squeezed their profit margins. The policy, while aimed at boosting American automakers, brought its own set of challenges. It forced them to adapt quickly, invest heavily, and navigate a shifting landscape of consumer demand and global competition. Section 8. Innovation and the environment. A green future or stuck in neutral? A major concern regarding the Made in America policy was its potential effect on innovation, especially in the fast-growing electric vehicle sector. Critics contended that prioritizing domestic production could isolate American companies from the global competition to develop advanced technologies. Additionally, the focus on traditional manufacturing methods raised questions about environmental sustainability. Could the drive for more American-made cars impede the shift to cleaner, more fuel-efficient vehicles? Would it trap the U.S. in an outdated model of car production, while the rest of the world moved towards a greener future? The policy's long-term implications for the environment and the future of automotive innovation remained uncertain. Section 9. The long road ahead. Success story or road to ruin? So, did Trump's bold move succeed? Did America reclaim its status as a manufacturing giant, brimming with jobs and prosperity? Or did it misfire, leaving a wake of economic turmoil and unforeseen consequences? The reality, as always, was nuanced. Undeniably, the policy reshaped the American auto industry. It generated jobs, boosted domestic production, and decreased dependence on foreign car makers. But it also had its drawbacks. Higher prices for consumers, strained trade relations with key allies, and ongoing concerns about long-term competitiveness and innovation. The Made in America car initiative was a daring gamble, one that brought both achievements and setbacks. Whether it ultimately fortified or weakened the American auto industry, only time will reveal.